Oh, howdy all. Grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some Path of Exile discussion. About a week ago, I started an experiment where I ran 12 ultra-high investment Tier 19 maps using the top watchstones in the game. So this is Booming Populace for pack size, Misinformation to ratchet up everything about a map, including its level, and Terror and Stalwart Defenders for +1 level as well. This creates Tier 19 maps, which I was running 40% Delirious. I had a focus on getting Labyrinth enchanted items out of them as well. So I used the Imperial Delirium orbs, which are the ones that give you a Delirium rewards based upon the Labyrinth. So to give you a bit of a quick summary, these are the enchants that I felt were pretty good. There were no absolutely stellar enchanted helmets that dropped, but these are the ones that I feel have a chance at selling at 2 exalts. Some of them might not, but I'm listing them here just for 2 exalts to start with, and I'll drop them over time. Now, I'm not suggesting that all of these will sell. These are just the ones that seem to be pretty solid. So that's just a flick through there, and I also had an enormous amount of less impressive enchanted helmets and boots and gloves and things like that. I'm listing all of those at 1 exalt, just on the off chance that they are exactly what someone needs. Because keep in mind that whilst there is a meta, there are builds that are considered the best in any given league. There's lots of players that don't follow the meta, lots of players that will just do their own thing, and those players do find currency and they do want good items too. So they will be looking for things for their build. Sometimes they'll be right and they'll be looking for the best item possible for their build. Sometimes they'll be wrong. They'll just have an enchant in mind that they think is great, even though it actually isn't. So that's going to be the quick summary of what was dropped in the way of Labyrinth specific rewards. Next, there was an enormous amount of just miscellaneous stuff. And rather than go through every single piece of this, what I'll say is that this roughly covers the costs of the maps. So this miscellaneous dump tab that you see here, this is just all of the stuff that dropped from monsters that just sort of adds up over time, and there's about enough here to equal the cost of the maps that I put in. Next, there's all of the Shaper and other influence items. I was running Gilded Shaper Scarabs on all these maps, and that was definitely the right decision. Whilst not all of these will sell, there's a number of particularly good things. Several Thicket Bows, which are all good, and pretty much every Shaper shield has some demand for it as well, because some of the high item level exclusive mods that can roll, particularly Reduced Reservation, are extremely, extremely good. And this then finishes with miscellaneous influence items, which broadly speaking are of less value than the Shaper ones. Finally, there's a huge collection of item level 86 bases that have the potential to sell. So far I've only sold 1 of these, and that's because I'm being a bit greedy and asking 5 chaos, but basically top tier energy shield items for every inventory slot. So that's Val Regalia, or Val Regalia is the lowest value of them, but there's hubris circlets, sorcerer boots and sorcerer gloves, all of which typically sell for 5 chaos each. Val Regalia are a little bit less. And then there's all the convoking ones. I think I'm going to have to mark down the convoking ones, especially because I've got so many of them. But this is all of the stuff that I've got here in the 5 chaos tabs that I think has a good chance of selling. Most of these that you see here may not sell at 5 chaos, but as soon as I drop them to 4, they will sell in a heartbeat. And they'll sell in bulk at that point as well. So in terms of the sort of value that you're looking at here, if I'm able to sell everything, we're looking at something like 5 or 6 exalts in those bases alone. Then another couple of exalts in the Shaper and miscellaneous influence bases. So as I said, Thicket Bow, and Thicket Bow is quite good. There's a couple of other things that will move as well, like Platinum Chris and these various shields. Some of the scepters may sell, not the second, that's rubbish. Lots of goodies in general there. Anyway, that is a summary of what we got in terms of loot overall, and I will update when I know how many of the enchanted helmets sold and for how much in total. But because at item level 86, they will sell for more than they otherwise would. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a good one.